We like to think we've explored Earth, that we've mapped it, named it, understood it. But the truth is far more uncomfortable. Most of our planet is still unknown. And it's unknown for a very simple reason. It's underwater. More than 70% of Earth's surface is covered by oceans. And yet, huge portions of the seafloor have never been properly explored. In fact, in some ways, we have better maps of Mars than we do of our own planet. That's the first snap. The moment you realize the greatest unknown isn't in space. It's right beneath the waves. Imagine walking into the ocean, just 2 meters in. Your feet lose the sand. A few meters more, and your lungs begin to argue with your instincts. Very quickly, the ocean makes a point. This place was not built for you. At around 40 meters, recreational diving reaches its limit. Not because of fear, but because the human body simply cannot go any further safely. But let's keep going, just in your imagination. At 100 meters, sunlight still exists, but it's thinning, fading, weakening. Beyond that, the world starts to disappear. At 1,000 meters, there is no natural light, not darkness like night, but darkness like absence. And by then, the pressure is already crushing. Every square inch of your body would be fighting forces it was never designed to face. People often ask, if humans can build rockets, why can't we explore the ocean? The answer is simple: pressure. Space tries to empty you. The deep ocean tries to crush you. And at those depths, mistakes don't become problems. They become endings. That's why, for most of human history, the seafloor remained out of reach. Not because we lacked curiosity, but because we lacked survivability. The dream of going beneath the surface is old. Long before modern submarines, inventors imagined sealed vessels, air systems, machines that could defy the sea. Early designs were crude, dangerous, terrifying, but they carried a radical idea. What if humans could hide underwater? Over time, submarines evolved, from muscle power to engines to nuclear propulsion. And with each leap, the ocean stopped being a barrier and became a highway. But exploration required something different. Not stealth, not weapons, a machine built to survive pressure. On January 23, 1960, 2 men entered a vessel that looked more like a steel seed than a ship, the bathyscaphe Trieste. Swiss explorer Jacques Piccard and U.S. Navy Lieutenant Don Walsh descended into the Mariana Trench, nearly 11 kilometers beneath the surface, so deep that if Mount Everest were placed there, its peak would still be underwater. They reached Challenger Deep, the deepest point on Earth. And then something strange happened. Almost no one followed. For decades, only a handful of humans would ever see that depth again. The world remembers the space race because it had spectacle, rockets, flags, broadcasts. But deep-sea exploration happened in silence. It didn't look heroic. It looked claustrophobic, uncomfortable. So the ocean became an abandoned frontier, not because it wasn't important, but because it was hard to sell to the human imagination. In 2012, filmmaker James Cameron made a solo descent to Challenger Deep. It captured attention, but the real shift came later, when modern engineering made repeat dives possible. Suddenly, the deepest point on Earth was no longer legendary. It became measurable. That was another snap. The moment the ocean stopped being myth and started becoming data. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We still do not have a complete map of Earth's seafloor. You can't photograph the bottom of the ocean from space, not through kilometers of water. So scientists listen instead. Ships send sound downward. The echo returns. Time becomes distance. Distance becomes a map. And slowly, the planet reveals itself. That's why the Seabed 2030 project exists, an international effort to map the entire ocean floor. Not for glory, but for understanding. And progress has accelerated. Today, over a quarter of the seafloor has already been mapped to modern standards. Not through one heroic dive, but through thousands of ships, millions of data points, and quiet persistence. But not everyone celebrates this, because mapping the ocean doesn't just reveal beauty. It reveals resources, metals, minerals, opportunities for exploitation. The deep ocean is one of the last places that still resists us, and some fear that better maps will only make destruction easier. But here's the truth. Ignorance doesn't protect nature. It only protects our comfort. Better maps save lives. They improve tsunami predictions. They guide undersea internet cables. They help us understand climate and currents. Mapping the unknown isn't curiosity. It's survival. We talk about exploring new worlds, but we haven't finished exploring the one we live on. Most of Earth is still hidden, not beyond the sky, but beneath the waves. History doesn't always snap with explosions. Sometimes it snaps when we realize the truth was beneath our feet the entire time. And the deepest unknown on Earth isn't a place. It's a reminder. We are still beginners on our own planet. If this story made you see our planet differently, subscribe to the channel. It helps more people discover moments like this. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and tell us in the comments, what part of Earth do you think we understand the least? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time when history snapped